what is the purpose of outsourcing? Now, Devrix is a WordPress agency generating 7 figures that specializes in long-term WordPress retainers. And most of our sales talks go with a number of common questions like, hey, should I actually hire an on-site developer? Should I build a team in-house, and so on? So we are quite used to handling some rebuttals and some common objections in terms of outsourcing, which is why we keep working long-term with some of our customers. But since it's a common question and lots of people aren't quite clear why is outsourcing needed in the first place, what are the benefits of outsourcing and whatnot, here are my top 8 reasons as to what makes outsourcing helpful and what are the common ways or the common principles and strategies and what are the most common reasons why outsourcing is actually leveraged as commonly, especially among small and medium enterprises. Now, the first one is you don't want to build an in-house team. Now, for example, we work with a PR agency. We use a couple other agencies for, let's say, link building and other activities. This is not a core skill we want to develop in-house. And in order to build an entire team, we need kind of someone senior who oversees everything, and a project manager, and people specializing in this and deal with hiring, with recruitment, with different kind of job offers for this and that. It's kind of complicated, and also it means that for one specific task, we probably need to hire 4 or 5 people. We need, a separate room, desks, chairs, laptops, all that jazz, in order to be able to accomplish a specific set of activities. So most of the time, it's not really cost effective. Sometimes it doesn't make sense if it's not a service that you want to offer. And of course, most businesses look for third-party vendors to handle those types of activities if this falls into that kind of scenario. Number 2 is you lack industry experts. Now, I spend a lot of time on Quora. Some of the most common questions are how to hire developers if I'm not a technical person, how to build a tech team if I don't have a CTO, how to hire a CTO. You get the drill. It's really hard to hire experts if you don't know what to look for, what sort of qualities you're looking for, what sort of hard skills you really need to accomplish, how to set KPIs and goals and deliverables and basically everything else related to the strategy. So if you lack that in-house expertise, this makes it really complicated to deliver that with proven quality, on time, with the desired effects, without any types of side effects that you haven't really predicted in-house. So this one is really common, and this is one of the core reasons why people also select outsourcing for some of their needs. Number 3 is this isn't your core specialty. I gave the example already with PR and with link building. If this isn't a product that you want to offer, if this isn't a type of service that really makes sense building a team for, then it probably doesn't make sense hiring for this. There are specific roles that you can't really avoid, such as having an HR person or an accountant or probably a lawyer, unless you're working with an agency, which is what we do as well, because we don't want to offer legal services. So if it doesn't really fall in those kind of mandatory categories, it probably makes sense actually offloading that and outsourcing that to an agency that specializes in kind of all of that. Number 4 is you want to leverage lots of industry expertise. Now, what do I mean here? If you hire let's say a developer or a marketer or an SEO expert or something else like a copywriter, whatever it is. Now, they probably have some industry expertise already, but if they spend 4 or 5 years at the company, which is also actually quite tricky because retention rates are low and it's really hard to keep people around for a longer period of time, which is something that lots of people are struggling with in lots of companies. But let's say this is the case, they will only focus on your business niche and business expertise and everything related to your own business. This isn't necessarily bad. That type of focus is something that can help you and is kind of expected for someone who works on your business. But the thing is, it gets really tricky to become an expert if you have a very narrow view of what happens in the surrounding ecosystem. Now, imagine some of the problems in the educational space. Now, most of the problems with teachers, especially trainers who practice some of the most modern skills like software engineering or marketing or law or even medicine, is they are relying on whatever they studied back in the day. But if they are not practitioners, meaning that they actually work full-time whatever they are assigned to do, and if they're teaching something in a very dynamic industry, it means that they will probably cover some outdated knowledge because they don't have a day-to-day up-to-date expertise in that specific industry. So this may be a very common problem, and working with an agency, outsourcing to someone, or even a freelancer most of the time, they work with multiple clients. Like we do have over 30 clients in different niches, in different kind of fields, and some of them have multiple sites and so forth. So we do have people, lots of people in-house who specialize in different fields, and we do have people employed on our end with different backgrounds in different types of businesses who can help us consult on business strategy and marketing and monetization and growth strategy and whatnot. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also offering consulting and advisory types of services, simply because it really helps me be up to date with what happens in different industries. Now, again, if you hire someone for a full-time role, they will only focus on your particular industry, but they won't necessarily be up to speed with all the latest trends. So this one may be a drawback for you. Number 5 is if you are looking for some form of a competitive advantage. Now, for example, most people looking for PR companies, and I know that firsthand, they look for, let's say, pitches in specific publications or experience working with specific editors or journalists or certain media. And that's why you don't hire someone with, limited experience in-house. You want to hire, a small team or a consultant or whoever who is really able to deliver and who is very proficient and can get the word out there and can reach the right people. On the WordPress end, we do have WordPress core contributors. We have actually submitted over 40 or maybe 50 patches to the WordPress core. We know the vast majority of popular plugin developers and some team developers and whatnot. So this is a competitive advantage for knowing what works and what not, getting some VIP priority support, getting the best hosting out there with some, special priority lines. Things like that. So this sort of added benefit isn't something that you get when you hire someone, unless of course you're hiring, an ambassador or someone else with other specific perks and skills. But this won't really be your day-to-day implementer of certain problems. Number 6 is if you need reliable uptime support. I'm here at the office, we had a couple people here. So we try to make specific shifts and have people all around the clock basically. So we do have people in different countries and also religions and whatnot. So we always have people around. And this is really crucial in case we have some outages or some other unexpected issues or API failures or hardware issues, whatever it is. So most agencies try to do that. The larger they are, the more they have support staff on site. They may offer 24/7 SLAs, things that you can't really get with 1 or 2 or even 4 or 5 people on site, especially if they're on a payroll, they have their holiday leaves and everything else in between, let alone sick leaves or other sorts of surprises that may come up during a conversation. Number 7 is if you want a flexible volume of work. Another thing that comes up here, we have some retainers, they start at say 30 hours, they jump to 60, 100. One of those retainers that started at 50, we are currently at 200 hours a month, and from January we are moving to 300 hours a month. And probably in about 3 to 6 months we are going to scale back to 200, but there's enough workload and the team doesn't need to do interviews and all that jazz in order to hire another developer, which is going to be a contractor only for a limited amount of time, which isn't quite clear. And number 8, finding and retaining top talent is really hard. Some agencies, especially consulting agencies, they try to bring the top talent in-house in order to make use of the top skills. And also they have top talent in the form of VPs and directors and other gurus who are teaching and coaching and mentoring the team all the time in order to provide the best quality of work. If you're looking for top hires in-house, it's probably not quite possible, or they may leave soon, and generally it's a really competitive market, which is also another reason why outsourcing makes sense.